Hey there, English learners. Welcome to Learning English Daily, the podcast where you pick up real conversational English by listening to natural conversations. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam. Today, we're diving into something super relatable, weekend vibes and that eternal struggle between being productive and just chilling out.
Exactly. We're calling this episode The Weekend Hustle and Chill. So picture this. Sam and I are catching up like old friends at our favorite coffee shop on a Saturday morning, talking about our weekend plans and reflecting on the week that just passed.
Right. And as you listen, you'll hear tons of natural expressions, idioms, and the kind of back and forth conversation you'd actually have with your friends. So grab your coffee and let's jump right in.
Oh man, Sam, I cannot believe how crazy this week was. I'm telling you, I barely had time to breathe, let alone plan out this weekend properly.
See, this is so you though. Already stressing about weekend plans when we're literally sitting here with our coffee on Saturday morning?
But that's exactly my point. I had this whole color-coded schedule mapped out for today and tomorrow, and now I'm already behind because I forgot to factor in this coffee catch-up.
Color coded? Alex, you're something else.
Don't judge. Green for exercise, blue for errands, yellow for meal prep, and red for that presentation I need to finish for Monday.
Okay, I get it. But here's a wild idea. What if we just see how the day unfolds?
See how it unfolds? Sam, that's how you end up binge watching Netflix at 2 p.m. in your pajamas.
And what's wrong with that exactly? Sometimes the best weekends are the ones where you have zero agenda.
But then Sunday night rolls around and you're like, what did I even accomplish? That Sunday night anxiety is real, Sam. You know what I'm talking about. You know what the funny thing is? I actually get energized by having a plan. Like, when I know what I'm doing, I feel more relaxed. But when there's uncertainty, my brain just goes into overdrive trying to figure out all the possibilities.
Oh, I totally know that feeling. The Sunday scaries are definitely a thing. That's so interesting because for me, it's the complete opposite. Having too many plans makes me feel trapped. I like knowing I have options and can change my mind if something better comes up or if I'm just not feeling it, you know?
Exactly, so that's why I plan. Speaking of which, have you given any thought to brunch tomorrow? Because I've been researching this new place downtown that does bottomless mimosas, and apparently their avocado toast is life-changing.
You've been researching brunch spots? Let me guess. You've read all the reviews, checked their Instagram, and probably already know what you're going to order.
Well, yes, is that weird? I just want to make sure we have a good experience. Plus, they get really busy on Sundays, so I was thinking we should make a reservation.
You know what? I actually appreciate that about you. I'm more of a let's just wander around until we find something that looks good kind of person. But
But that's how you end up waiting 45 minutes for mediocre pancakes.
true. But sometimes those random discoveries are the best ones. Remember that little hole in the wall taco place we stumbled upon last month?
Oh my god, yes. Those fish tacos were incredible. Okay, I'll give you that one. But we also spent an hour driving around looking for parking.
But it was fun. We had that whole conversation about your dating disaster from the week before. That's quality friend time right there.
Ugh, don't remind me about that. Note to self, when someone says they're between jobs, that usually means unemployed for 6 months.
Hey, at least you found out before the third date. That's progress.
True, silver lining, I guess. But speaking of this week, how did your big presentation go on Thursday? I know you were stressed about it.
Speaking of dating disasters, though, at least you're putting yourself out there. I've been so focused on work lately that my dating life is basically non existent. My mom keeps asking when I'm going to bring someone home for dinner. Oh, that! It actually went way better than expected. You know how I always overthink these things and then it turns out fine?
Oh, the parent pressure is real. My dad still asks me if I've met any nice young professionals at networking events. Like, Dad, that's not how modern dating works. Although, to be honest, maybe I should try some of those professional meetups instead of just dating apps. That's such a Sam thing to say. Way better than expected. What does that even mean?
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. At least you'd know they have their life together. Unlike certain unemployed individuals who shall remain nameless. But honestly, I think we both need to get better at the whole work life balance thing. Well, I didn't completely bomb it, and my boss actually complimented my slides afterwards. She said the data visualization was really clear.
Sam, that's amazing. Why do you always downplay your wins like that? You worked really hard on those charts.
You know, speaking of being stressed about presentations, I remember back in my first job, I would literally rehearse in front of my mirror for hours. My roommate thought I was losing it. I don't know. It just feels weird to celebrate, you know? Like, isn't that what I'm supposed to be doing anyway?
Oh my god, yes! I still do that sometimes. I'll practice my opening lines while I'm making coffee in the morning. Actually, that's probably why I overplan everything. It's all connected to that need to feel prepared. No, you should totally celebrate the small wins. That's actually part of my weekend plan. I'm going to finish that presentation I mentioned, and then I'm treating myself to that fancy ice cream place as a reward.
That makes total sense, actually. It's like your color coded weekend schedule is just your way of having control when everything else feels chaotic. I never thought about it that way before. See, now that I can get behind ice cream as a reward system, that's my kind of productivity hack.
Right? It's all about balance. Work hard, play hard. Or in this case, work hard, eat ice cream hard.
You know what's funny though? I used to be more like you in college. I had color coded planners and everything.
No way! What happened? When did you become so zen about everything?
I think it was when I realized that life has a way of throwing curveballs, no matter how much you plan. Like, remember that time I had my entire summer mapped out and then I got that last minute opportunity to go to Europe?
Wait, so you really used to be a planner in college? I'm having trouble picturing you with a color-coded anything. What changed exactly? Oh yeah, your cousin's wedding in Italy, right? And you almost didn't go because it wasn't in your plan.
Oh my God, you should have seen my dorm room. I had weekly schedules taped to my wall and I would literally plan out my study breaks. But then junior year happened and I got so burned out from overscheduling myself. I realized I was missing out on so many random opportunities because they didn't fit into my predetermined slots. Exactly. And that ended up being one of the best trips of my life. That's when I learned to leave some room for spontaneity.
Wow, that's like looking at an alternate universe version of you. But I can totally relate to the burnout thing. Sometimes I wonder if my need to plan everything is actually just anxiety dressed up as productivity. Like, am I really being efficient or am I just afraid of not being in control? Maybe you have a point, but I still think there's something to be said for having a game plan. Like, what if we compromise? We'll do the brunch reservation, but afterwards we just see where the day takes us. You know what? Maybe I need more of that in my life. Like, when was the last time I did something completely unplanned? I can't even remember. That's kind of sad, isn't it?
Now you're talking. That sounds perfect. Structured start, flexible middle and end. It's not sad, Alex. It just means you know what you like and you go for it. But hey, what if we made tomorrow one of those spontaneous moments? After brunch, no plans. We just walk around and see what catches our eye.
And who knows, maybe we'll stumble upon another hidden gem like that taco place. Although I'm still making the reservation because bottomless mimosas wait for no one. Okay, I can do that. But what if we end up somewhere terrible? What if we waste a whole afternoon wandering around aimlessly?
Fair enough. And I promise to actually show up on time for once instead of running 15 minutes late like usual. Alex, listen to yourself. Waste the afternoon. What if we just call it exploring? Besides, we'll be together, so even if we end up somewhere random, we'll have good company and probably some funny stories to tell later.
Sam, you're always exactly 15 minutes late. It's like you have a superpower for consistent lateness.
It's a talent, what can I say? But seriously, I'll set 3 alarms tomorrow morning. This presentation success has me feeling responsible.
There we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're both learning from each other. I'm loosening up a bit, and you're embracing a little structure.
It's like we're each other's weekend balance coaches or something. You keep me from turning into a complete couch potato, and I keep you from having a stress meltdown over brunch logistics.
That's actually a really good way to put it. Friendship goals right there, keeping each other balanced between hustle and chill.
And that's a wrap on today's conversation. Hope you English learners enjoyed listening to Alex and me hash out our weekend philosophy.
Remember, this is exactly how friends talk in real life, jumping from topic to topic, sharing stories, and yes, sometimes gently disagreeing about the best way to spend the weekend.
Next week, we'll be back with another natural conversation, this time about the eternal struggle of trying to eat healthy while living a busy life. Trust me, it gets real.
Until then, keep practicing your English by having real conversations with friends. Thanks for listening to Learning English Daily.